Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Elena. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today I think is episode 12 of my Dear Younger Self series, where I speak to kind of like my younger self or share some insight of what I've learned. So maybe people who are going through the similar path that I did are able to kind of feel as if they're not, alone in their journey, because you're not alone. You're not alone. I know sometimes it's hard. It feels like you're alone sometimes, but you're never alone. You're never alone. Okay. So today's topic, I was thinking about it last night, actually. I was like, I think I need to talk about this. As someone who is very psychically gifted, highly empathetic, or highly psychic, you can feel things, you hear things, you see things, you know things, you get premonitions, you speak to spirit. If you're someone that just has a high level of intuition, it can be very difficult to be around people who are very, I would say, like earthly in terms of like they are not tuned in, tapped in with their intuition. Because there's times in my life where, let's say I have a feeling about something, or I just know something is, maybe this person's not good, or, I know we shouldn't do this, or whatever, things like that. And when you share that insight, especially when you're growing up and you're around caregivers who don't feel those things, the worst thing that they could say to me was that, oh, you got to prove it. You have to prove it. And I remember thinking to myself, because I was confused, I also didn't know what gifts I had at the time. I just knew I had feelings, and I had, like I didn't really hone into them, except the fact that I just knew that I felt things more deeply. And when I was around a bunch of people that would say like, well, you got to prove it or I won't believe you. That was incredibly damaging, incredibly traumatic, and then it was very dismissive and invalidating. And I want you to know that if you're experiencing that, trust in your gut. Always trust in your gut, because only you know what you're feeling, right? I find people who like to dismiss or like suppress or tell other people to kind of say, oh, it's just in your head, it's nothing, you're just anxious, whatever. They are projecting. They are projecting the fact that they have suppressed their own feelings, their own intuition, their own gut instincts. Maybe they're scared of their intuition. Maybe they're scared of their gifts. I'm a firm believer that our gifts come from the maternal line. So I always feel like, if our moms are highly intuitive and psychic, but they're choosing to suppress it in fear, it's like they will try to trickle that down to others around them, right? Instead of trying to expand their gifts and trying to work on it and understand them. They're not going to nourish your gifts. If you have a mom like that, they're not going to nourish your gifts. And then if anything, they're scared. They're scared of your gifts. So anyways, I always find that, if you're in those situations, understand that they are projecting to you. Understand that only you know how you feel. Only you know what you know. And I think it's a lesson in terms of trusting yourself more, and also learning to validate yourself and not seeking validation in other people in terms of asking them, like, what do you think? It's like, because that's hard. Sometimes if you're young and you're needing some clarity on what's going on and you're around people that just tend to say that it's your issue and they're not actually holding space for you, it can kind of play like a mind game to you, thinking that your feelings are invalid. Like your anxiety is not really anxiety, it's intuition, but they're gonna say that it's anxiety and you should just get over it. I equate this to this analogy, whereas like some people operate on one of those really old, either old phones or like pagers. I don't know if people know what pagers are. I don't know how young my audience is, but a pager is like basically this little thing that you can like kind of electronic thing that you can put on your like waist, and sometimes it'll beep really loudly and it'll have like a certain text just to kind of let you know someone sent you something, but it had no video, nothing, no voice or anything. That was all it could do. Okay, you can just maybe text like one word and that was it. So I always think that people like that are scared of their intuition and only focus on what's practical or in front of their face can only see through that lens. Whereas you, with your psychic gifts, you can talk to spirit, you can like, you feel things, you have premonitions, you have a smartphone. You have a phone that has music, you can open a bunch of different apps, different dimensions, different, you can see things, you can hear things, you can, like, it's not just this one-dimensional way of seeing things. And I think what was so frustrating is because you're operating on a smartphone and then you're trying to like squish everything down so like you can match that pager to which they can receive you. And not only are you dimming your light, you're dimming your gifts, you're trying to conform yourself into this little box that is only fit for their perspective. And I'm always someone that like, you can use that pager as much as you want. If it makes you comfortable, go ahead and use it. Like, but I'm gonna be over here with my smartphone. I'm gonna be over here. I'm gonna do what I need to do on the smartphone. I'm gonna have fun doing this, learn more about it. But, and you can always feel free to upgrade to this if you want, but I'm not going to force you. If you really love your pager, stick to your pager, right? That's kind of like the analogy that like I think of when I see that situation, because yeah, it like the more I think about it looking back, I'm just like, right, like how no wonder why I was suffocated. No wonder why I felt really anxious all the time. No wonder why, like, I never spoke up, because everything that I felt and sensed, I was told that there was something wrong with me and that I'm not normal, when really I am normal. I'm actually more in tune with things. I have less of a filter coming into the planet where I'm more able to go to different directions. It's like, and I feel like when you're around people like that, you have to accept them for who they are. Don't try to change them. And also move into a direction where more people use and access that smartphone, because that is where your community is. That is where people can kind of help you hone into your skills, help you understand it more. Because the more you understand it, the more you're not going to be afraid of it, and you're also able to understand yourself more, and understand maybe your purpose more on this planet. Because some people are born with these gifts for a reason. They're here to assist humanity for a reason. And also you need to learn how to have spiritual hygiene, cleanse your aura, all of those things. And you can't do that by going backwards and making yourself into a pager or a fax machine, when you should be just embracing who you are and advancing in that direction. So that's kind of the message I want to say today. Honor yourself, trust in your gifts, trust in your insight, trust in your feelings. Do not look for other people to validate what it is that you already know inside. Learn to honor your voice, and because when you work on that, when you are so solid in your heart space and your gut space, as well as your mental space, but mostly your heart and your gut and your soul, it's like making it so that no matter where you go in life, no matter what happens in your life, you will know what to do and you know what's best for you. There's nobody around that can like influence you. And I think that's what part of alignment is. And that's what spirit really wants for all of us, to know ourselves, to love ourselves, to not be swayed by the good opinion of others, or as well as the bad opinion of others, and know that you are a gift to this world, and your gifts are here to help. And it's important to kind of share them when you're ready. So anyways, thanks so much for tuning in, and I will talk to you later. Okay, bye.